one with I wanna be the one with you. I wanna be the one with I wanna be the one with you.
What up, everybody? I'm Caleb.
And I'm Micah.
And we like to welcome you to This Life Together.
That's TWO together. So today we have two special guests, and we have Shakira and Brian Barnett on the show.
Hey. Pow, 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 pow. Oh. Gunshot, bullet.
Okay. Caleb just had some Coca-Cola, y'all, and apparently they done went back to put.
I've been drinking water for 2 days straight, and that Coke just took me to another level. I'm sorry.
He's not coping well. So on today's episode, we're going to be talking about a couple of things. We're going to be getting to know a little bit about Shakira and Brian, how they met, how they stay in Louvre. They cute, y'all. And also how they are working to amass generational wealth and how that combats with the treat yourself mentality that we see today. Mm. Woo. So, Shakira, tell us a little bit about y'all. Tell us how y'all met. When did y'all start dating? Because I've heard a hilarious version of this story.
Everybody got a different side.
Everybody. Every time I hear this story, it's different.
I still have the worst side.
So I
have the worst side of the story.
Caleb didn't know that y'all was dating until y'all got married.
We're not going to start.
So,
let me tell you something. Caleb is very dramatic.
I didn't know until Brian was like, "Hey, I need you to come to Shakira's birthday party and propose." I was like, "What?" Like, there's so many steps that got missed.
Oh my god.
So
what had happened was
here we go.
we actually met the summer before high school. Okay, we were not friends, but you know, being some of the only black kids kind of hung together, so we knew each other from then, and then we didn't really start being like friends even a little bit until we both found out we were going to Cass, right? Cass comes and we're in 9th grade in our like first hour together. I'm like, oh, look at this. We friends for real. Well, homie tried to play me, I think, towards the end of 9th grade.
Okay.
Tried to play me like a fool. I am not. And so after that, we just didn't talk. We didn't talk for the rest of like high school. I think I did reach out to him because he was like the only dude I knew that wasn't weird and like out the hood.
Dog.
No, listen, he went to my friend's quinceañera with me, and she turned 15 and something other cultures did. But he did go to that with me, and then from there it was like dead, like no communication whatsoever. Mm-hmm. Fast forward, we both end up at Wayne State. Would you like to tell them about Wayne State thing?
What happened at Wayne State?
The boys got way too high.
How did we come about?
No, actually, no. Never mind. God. He was dating somebody else. I was going through the lesson God decided to give me, and somehow he started stalking me. No, I'm playing. Wow. We had mutual friends, obviously.
I was about to say.
So we would like see each other sometimes. We would joke and kiki, every once in a while. But then I like broke up with my mistake, and he started like breathing down my neck real heavy, and I was just like, you full of it. I'm having flashbacks to 9th grade. I'm like, no, you would never play me again.
Dog.
It'll never go down. And somehow he won me over. I got like roses or something in the mail one day, and I was just like, oh.
How you get your address?
But you forgot a detail here. I used to use her mama to get close to her because I had to tutor her mama.
Wow.
What?
I just had to come over to her house. I'm like,
wow.
You good with the family early?
What you tutor her mama
in math. So my mom is a teacher, for those that don't know. And she wanted to get like her certification in just math.
What?
But you're getting your certification in math, you're not really, whatever the case, she needed tutoring. And so Brian, being the smart guy that he is, I would never take that away from him. Like when we first started, we was in competition to see who GPA was going to be the highest. He won. It's whatever. But he did. He used to be over at my house tutoring her, and I'd come in and be like,
so weird. I wouldn't know what to say. Like,
then he just at the dinner table like, hey.
He beat you home.
Right. What is this? So I'll be leaving off for work, and he's still there, and I'm just like, okay. Well, it's weird, but whatever. But yeah, he was feeling the kid, and rest is history. So how we ended up here.
So you guys have been married for 3 years now?
2 years.
2 years.
Dated for 5 before that.
Mm-hmm.
That's a long time.
A long time.
My God, today.
Long. Oh my God, I don't know how we made it.
Let me tell
Well, y'all
you.
didn't kill each other.
We did not. It's a close cause.
Lord.
It's been some close calls, but no, we good.
So, what are some things that have drawn you guys together when it comes to planning for your family, planning for your future, and really just having financial literacy?
What was the question?
What are
was a
some
lot
things
packed
that
in.
bring you guys together and where you find common ground when it comes to financial literacy, basically?
Well, let's start off by defining financial literacy. I guess I would say it's like some skills or ability to make sound financial decisions or plan for the future. Yeah, that's how I say it was. And so, like, all my life, I've been a spreadsheet kind of guy. As an engineer, my whole life is in an Excel spreadsheet.
Literally.
Like, I track every penny, and I'm really gung-ho on, like, balancing budgets and making sure I'm staying on track. So, just a little background on how I got this way. I interned at GM one summer. I was making, like, I don't know, $15 an hour. No bills, stay with my mom. I was still in college. And I would be bringing home these checks. And I'm just like, okay, thinking I'm rich. And then I would look at the statements at the end of the month, and I'm just like, where is all my money going? Came to find out I was spending like $600-$700 a month on food alone. So I'm like, oh no, I'm done with this. So I just started like, all right, let me just budget, have like 2 days a week I eat out, and do it like that. So fast forward now, everything's in a spreadsheet. Like I have from now until December already mapped out.
Literally.
Like, so I know if I spend $100 today, it's going to affect everything down.
Yeah.
100%.
So I know how all that looks.
It's
And so
yeah, I was gonna say it's funny. It's funny you say that because one, I had talked to Shakira before we even started recording. She was like, "Oh yeah, Brian definitely answered that question." He literally said verbatim, like his whole life is in the Excel sheet. And it's funny because my brother is an engineer too, and he got everything in it. It's mind-boggling. I can't even look at it. He got stuff color coordinated. I'm just like, dude, you got multiple sheets. I don't know where I'm looking.
There's something wrong with him sometimes.
I don't know.
Like,
They think different, and I don't think like that. So he was helping me trying to figure out how to get rid of my debt.
Down the line, it's different scenarios. It's like if Shakira.
That's what I'm saying. Those are different sheets.
If she stays, if the car goes out, what about the dogs? It's just like what?
Yep.
Are you okay?
Because life
So I gotta know what the worst case scenario. Like, so like if I lost my job, if she lost her job, how long we last
Yeah.
on like no income for? I'm like, okay, well we about to be hit
Yep.
because I'm filing bankrupt. I'm going around the bank.
Man.
Yeah. So as far as how it brings us closer and planning for generational wealth.
I could jump in. I am the polar opposite of Brian. I thought that I was doing something back in college with my little 2 part-time jobs and going to school. So I'm like, I deserve to cut this check, spend it how I want, I didn't have bills and stuff then either, but I didn't like get a savings account until like I had one because my mom forced me to, but it still didn't start until college, and I still didn't take it seriously until I was like farther in college, and really until he came along, because I was like, I'm like, if I got like $100 in there, I'll be all right. He's like, what is that? Like, what are you gonna do with that? What are you doing with all your money? And I really had to sit back and be like,
I don't know.
I don't have an answer for you. I cannot. All these jobs I've had, because I always work, I hustle, but I have nothing to show for it. I have nothing for you. So I think it kind of put us together because he could show me, what I was doing wrong or what I should be doing or how I should be keeping track of my money. Just kind of showing me a better way of life. And now it's like I don't even worry, if that makes sense.
It's funny though that you bring that up because Mike, we talk about, I swear we have a financial conversation at least twice a week.
So at least once a month, I'm at work on a spreadsheet budgeting our lives.
So
I have to do.
Yeah, it's
we succumb to the eating out big time, especially because we make Monday night date nights a priority. So we need to know, is this Monday a stay at home date night?
Yep.
or is this go out date night?
Right.
Like, we have to account for that. We have to account for gas. Caleb just got a new car, so we are constantly trying to figure out ways to not just cover our expenses, but we want to pay stuff off as we're covering our expenses. So it's just like trying to kind of keep blinders on in the sense of we don't really need this. We don't really have to do this right now. We don't have to go this place right now because we got that bad too, and that's my fault. But just really prioritizing the things that have to get done, the things that we know will kind of be tight right now, but in the long run, it's worth it. And really just having that discipline. It's so hard.
I feel like that's kind of where I come in. Where Michael, she'll lay the plan out, but then sometimes we'll kind of like deviate. And I'm like, no, I gotta reel this back in.
I'm literally counting.
I gotta reel this
in my
back
head.
in. Like Michael, like we can make this trip happen. I'm like, but why?
But that's because I've accounted for it.
Right.
Caleb be like, we buying a barbecue grill, and I be like, let me check this spreadsheet before you go to Lowe's.
So,
because
man,
I don't know if
look.
that's the budget.
Yep.
So yeah, it came to the point where we really just had to learn how to say no, and it's hard because I'm used to being everywhere, and then it's like Micah is more of the no, I'll be at home, I'll be all right
I
staying
was
at
working
home.
on 5 things this week alone. Yeah,
So,
we won't be at that.
Man,
No, we can't come to that.
so it's like every time we have a situation where we know money is obviously gonna be involved, we got to try to figure out how we gonna get on the same page with this, and then. Are we going to this? Are we doing this? Or are we not doing this? Because we need to make a decision now. Especially when we get into binds where it's like, oh, well, if you do it now, it's cheaper. And then it's like, okay, we really need to make a decision. Because now the time is literally money. So with that said, how do y'all get on the same page when y'all have differences regarding the budget?
Communication.
That's the way down.
Yeah, like, all right, so like sometimes I just let her do what she wants most of the time, but I complain a lot on the way down. Like she's like, oh, I want to go shopping, I want to buy this. Do you really need that right now?
Then you be feeling bad.
It's something, man.
Yeah, I did until you just said that.
Man, it sucked being a bad guy. I swear.
Like I even hit him with the I only buy stuff on sale. Like please just let me have that.
I'm not gonna just go and look at a sale. Like I'm just going to look. Like nobody goes to the store to look.
I'm like, but you just bought this yesterday. I'm like, okay, fine. And so I gotta go play around with the numbers. I spend an hour on my little spreadsheet, moving numbers around. Okay, we can take this out of this. But like communication is the main thing. Like sometimes she's like, I gotta get this. I'm like, oh, just give me the number. I'm like, whatever, I'll work it out. You know, I guess we just gonna save 100 less.
Man, I was gonna say it'd be so funny when we be doing it like, well, guess we ain't eating. We ain't eating tomorrow. Don't drive tomorrow. Like, I gotta go to work. You ain't going.
No, but I do that because I work from home now. I'll be like, I'll just leave the car in the garage for the week.
Listen, my car stays in the garage from Friday when I get off
To
work
Wednesday.
until tomorrow. We just drove my car to Little Caesars, but before that, I hadn't drove my car since I got off work on Friday.
Yeah.
So there you go. You save no gas.
But we kind of have to do that with my car. Like it works out that I work from home Monday and Tuesday now because I drive a tank. So any little bit that we can save on gas is great. Like last Friday was the day that I put gas in my car. And I spent almost $50 filling my tank up. Ain't nobody got time to be doing
You
that
could be
twice
eating
a
off that
week.
50.
Reasons why it's parked in the garage.
Hello.
You drive a hybrid, so we gonna milk that for
That's
us.
what happened when you got that 600 miles to empty. I was like, oh, cool.
Yeah.
We out, dog. I could take you to work and still make it on time.
Yeah, I would say communication is the major key. Like, and then like before we got married, we had our own separate bank accounts. When you married, personally, in my opinion, you might as well combine them. What's the point?
It don't make
It
sense.
doesn't make sense to have
It's
separate
so
accounts.
stupid.
Unless like somebody's just like ridiculously bad with finances, just blowing money, gambling, or whatever.
So I'll say before we got married, even though everything was separate, we still had a pretty good idea of each other's spending habits. Like we had tried the spreadsheet thing before, but because our accounts weren't together,
And
it
none of
made
our
no
bills-
sense.
Yeah.
It made
Yeah, like
no
none of our
sense.
bills were really combined either.
Yeah.
We were really just like, okay, don't go broke before we get married,
Literally,
basically.
that was it. Like if we set a financial goal, I'm expecting you, and I'm holding myself accountable too, to be able to make like whatever those sacrifices are. And then when XYZ day comes, like, all right, you got your half. But now I think it's a lot easier because everything is in one bucket. We know exactly when stuff comes out. We got password access to everything, so if something needs to be set on auto pay, like either one of us can access it. So it just makes things so much easier.
It's really a big equation. Like we really just like, oh, throw that number in there and then just change everything. And he's like, oh,
Literally.
okay, cool.
We ain't doing that.
Like, dang, that's where my money going. Cool.
Yeah. And
But
so-
it helps to know though, because I've
Like,
being
I
in that
see how
situation
people-
before, check it, like that's like we were saying before, like you really don't realize you live in check to check until you
I was literally
step
like,
outside
I
of
don't
it.
know
I
where
even
money
check
is
the
going.
check. You like these 2 days, don't ask me to do nothing, go nowhere, feed nobody.
I can't
Man.
afford to breathe today. I'm
Okay.
gonna just stay over here. and
For
stay.
real.
Do nothing for myself,
And
sorry.
it's I feel like that's a learned behavior, because I know for me, I know my mom, like the one thing I know she does do is she balances her checkbook. That's the only thing I've ever seen her do, regardless of her finances. She keep receipts. She got probably receipts before I was born, but it's like I don't see her doing none of that. Same thing with my dad. I don't know what he do with his finances. So I just basically had to learn on my own. Then my brother was like, "No, that's not how you do that. Let's step over here." I was over his house one day for like 5 hours when I first got out of college, and he set up a whole Excel sheet. He was like, "You got to pay off your tires. You got to pay off your student loans. You got to pay your rent. You got to pay this. You got to pay that." Then I was like, "Dang, I ain't gonna have no money." He was like, "Well, you got $200." And I was like, "Well, I'm gonna have to stretch that to the next check." So then it was like learning how to basically handle yourself while basically taking care of yourself, which is not always easy to balance. So I think that it's easy. It's important for for us to basically pass the knowledge on, because otherwise people gonna just be doing the same thing or just doing what they can to get by because they don't have time to really think about how they gonna basically make everything work.
Yep.
And that's a sucky position to be in.
It really is.
Yeah, it's tough. Did you guys' parents have like a good framework for y'all to follow when it came when it came to like finances?
Nope. My dad did what he wanted. My mom, my mom literally had my dad give him a certain amount in a check every month, and she just let him do what he want because he just do what he want anyway. She's like, "Why don't you give me this every month? We good."
So that would be.
She's like, "I'm not about to play with you."
That would be the only reason why I would be okay with giving. And I think we actually talked about it before, but that would be my only reason with being okay with actually, like, we'll have a joint account. And then I think the only reason I would probably be okay with having a separate account is because I would just basically give her like a spending allowance where it's just like whatever money.
Yep.
But we got to get to that point before we get to that point.
Listen, I'm going buck wild. So you keep working on that. But yeah, same thing with me. So the craziest, I pride my financial savvy on my job, because before I started working where I work, I had no idea of how to save money, how to budget money. I wasn't even really paying my bills on time. So like working where I work, like they force you to do that.
Mm-hmm.
So when I was in college, I'm not one of those kids who parents had like bills on in their name when they was a baby. But
Right.
my mom encouraged me to get a credit card once I turned 18. And I think at the time I had like I had like 2 or 3. And my whole college experience is really crazy just because one, I'm a first generation college kid. So I done went to college. I'm getting scholarships and grants and stuff with money that I theoretically should be paying right back into my student loans. Wasn't doing that. I wasn't buying Louis and Gucci belts. But I was using that money to pay like my rent or whatever, or go shopping, whatever. I wasn't doing what I should have been doing with the money. So my freshman year of college, I actually almost got put out of school because I didn't have enough money to cover my financial aid. And so to tie both of my parents into this equation, so I called my daddy because I had been used to pretty much all my life, especially in high school, calling my daddy and telling him I needed money for Jordans or what have you, him giving it to me and that being that. I called my daddy like, "Daddy, I need $2,000 or they're kicking me out of college." And he was like, "I don't have it," and laughed at me and got off the phone. I was like, "Cool, okay." First real world
Like, them ain't
lesson.
no
Right.
Jordans, sis.
First real world
200.
lesson. And then it was like her car was down, my car was a lemon and was not making it to Ohio, so it wasn't really like she could drive it. I think at the time I might have needed like a transmission or something.
Not the 2000.
Which is crazy that he put. So first of all, my daddy bought me this car. The day he gave it to me as a surprise on my birthday, it was smoking.
Oh,
I told him the next day, like, "Daddy, my car's smoking." He was like, "What you want me to do?" "You bought it. I don't know.
He
Take
got
it
to the
back."
car. That's the hard part.
Apparently that's what he thought. So He
Said that ain't my
actually,
problem.
he actually did pay for me to get like the transmission or whatever put in my car, but my mom was like, I'm not trying to drive it. I don't want to chance it. She was driving an Escort from 97. So I remember whenever she would come visit me, and it wasn't that frequent, maybe like once a month. Oh my God, isn't it? Maybe like once a month. She would come visit me, but she was renting the cars on my credit cards. So by the time I became, I want to say, a junior in college, I was in credit card debt. Like, I had reached the limit on my cards. She wasn't paying them. I didn't ever have a job during college. I think I might have had a job for maybe a month and a half, and then they pissed me off, and I was like, bye. So, she ended up having to use that money to pay on my credit cards, but things were so tight. She didn't have access funds to pay on it, and it just was a whole hot mess. So it ended up getting to the point where I closed the accounts so they would not continue to incur interest, but then they had to still be paid. So she was paying off my credit cards from probably my junior year of college until I was probably 23. So she was paying them because she had spent the money on them, but that was like my first real introduction to credit and just finances. And she never really showed me anything financially. She's not really familiar with like a 401k or IRA or any of those things. Like, she knows what they are, but she does not have one. And so when I got to my job, it was like, yeah, oh, the other thing. Opened another credit card at David's Bridal because my best friend getting married and don't have money to pay for her own dress. Her wedding dress was $200. Do you know it took her a year and a half to pay me the money for this $200 David's Bridal dress?
How?
Credit messed up again. So when I started at my job, my credit score was a 549. Or 41, actually. It's a miracle it was that. It could have been worse because I had no positive generating credit at that point.
Like, mine was on fire.
So I ended up keeping my Discover card open because you know that's everybody's first credit card. So my Discover card, I kept open. The balance was low on it. I had been making my payments on time for it. The other two cards were closed. But coincidentally, one of my teammates now called me and was like, yeah, you have to pay this account off or we're not going to be able to let you work here.
Mm-hmm.
Whoa.
Totally not true. But I was like,
I didn't know they could.
So I was like freaking out, like, oh my God, I'm going to lose my job. So I had the money. When I got my first check, I paid the account off. And at the time, I was still living at home. So it wasn't as big of like a blow. But that was like when I decided, I was like, I never want to be in a position again where one,
That'll suck.
my credit is in this bad of a condition, but two, I'm like forced to pay my own bills.
So they could they or couldn't they have?
For the amount of debt that I had, they couldn't have fired me.
That's crazy.
They wouldn't have fired me. Because if that was the case, they wouldn't have hired me. They knew it was on my credit report. They pulled me when we interviewed.
Thank God mine was fire.
I
Because we
worked
would not
at
be in this
a-
if it was still that bad.
I worked at a major retailer, and a lot of us that worked there had our like credit cards through them too. And they used to pull them up to HR all the time, like, you don't pay this damn bill, you out. And people used to literally come back down, like, I don't know what I'm going to do. And I'm like, why did you get it in the first place?
Dog.
That was your first mistake. Why would you get it in the first place?
It's free money. Like,
No,
no.
it's not.
So not
And I
free
think
money.
that's such a huge
That's how they get you.
misconception around
That's how they
young
get you.
people.
Well, that's
That
they,
money
they,
is not
they,
free.
they get you. They suck you in with a 1 year no interest, right?
Yep.
And
Absolutely.
so,
Your
funny
lullaby.
story about my first credit card. I got one right out of college. Maxed that boy out immediately. It took me 6 months to pay it off. 6 months, and I never did that again. Like to this day, since that time, and I paid it off in 6 months, so I still had the no interest.
Yeah.
I've never paid a dime in interest on a credit card ever in my life,
It's terrible.
ever. Because I look at that like,
ridiculous.
matter of fact, the bank just sent me a statement like, yeah, we're just gonna up your interest rate to 28.
Yeah, they gonna keep doing it.
9%. I'm like, I'm not paying
Dude,
29% on nothing.
I
That's
paid
crazy.
I
Y'all
paid
got
for
me
her
messed up.
her engagement ring.
Nope.
And I was like, cool. This would be another because I only get cards. I only open lines of credit when I know I'm gonna pay it off.
Yep.
So I'm like, cool. Bought this TV. I paid it off 3 months.
Yep.
Bing. Credit went up. Then it was like, oh, I got these tires. Let me open up this line of credit. Bing. Pay it off. Oh, I got something else to get done. I'm gonna just use that card that I use for my tires. Pay it off. Same thing with her engagement ring. I went in there. I paid her ring off so fast. I went in there and the dude tried to get me. He was like, oh, your credit is great. We're gonna actually up your we're gonna up the amount to it was some astronomical number, and I was like, I'm looking at my brother, and I'm like, nah, I ain't about to do that.
Right.
It was like 3,000 or 4,000 more than what I had actually anticipated. And they was like, he was like, yeah, you can go ahead. Matter of fact, I think I might have told you about this. This dude tried to throw in a Rolex with the wedding ring. Didn't I tell you about that?
No, this was the band, and he actually tried to get me, not you.
Oh, yeah, it was
we went back up there.
Oh, that's funny.
They were talking to us about like getting our bands and stuff, and we had both picked out our bands. And when I picked out Caleb's band, we were talking amongst ourselves, and I had intended to get Caleb a watch as his wedding gift because Caleb needed a watch.
He was ear hustling because she
he
wasn't speaking
overheard
loud
this,
at
and he
all.
like, well, you know, we have Rolexes. I said, God bless you.
Right.
I'm not gonna have
No
no
Rolex?
Right.
We could buy. We could pay a car off. Like, what the heck?
Yeah, like, no, that's not happening at all.
So, shifting gears, I got a question that I wanted to ask. Either one of you could jump in. How do you support your significant other's dreams?
Oh, so
I can't wait to get Shakira.
so let's just say an example. Like she was at some point pondering grad school and stuff like that. And so like if she starts something, I'll just take it and run with it. Like I'll just start researching schools, grants. I'm like, hey, look at this grant, look at this grant, look at this grant. So if she has a goal, I'll support it full on. I want to see her be successful as well. So like if she wants to pursue something, I'll help her pursue it. Essentially, like I'm doing research myself, probably more than her. Like I'll put in time. Like
That's how it
I'm
goes.
a researcher.
Shuggy
too,
is me. That is me.
I just like to look stuff up. I like to go to do new stuff. Like this dude, her going to grad school.
Yeah,
Let's go.
I think it's funny because I'm in this. I got the same mentality. It was like, oh, you want me to put my foot on the gas? Let's
Go
go.
take it, run with it, park it, and then bring it up 2 days
Yep.
later. Like, oh, did you look into this link I sent
So,
you?
look.
No, baby, I forgot.
I'm holding you
I
accountable.
was for a modal. I didn't mean that.
That junk is hard. I'm trying to figure out like, is she for real? For real? Then I'll like, do I wait until she bring it back up?
Nope.
Because then by that time it's too late. That's like it's too late.
And then it'll be so it might cause an argument because I'm like too persistent about it.
Yes.
So
Why you on my back?
So can we talk about this grad school? Because I know we brought that up.
Yeah, same way. She's like, all right, let's take a step back. Let's eat dinner first. I'm like, all right, dog. All right, big dog, you got it.
Bro, I paid a dumb amount for real estate classes, went to all of them, did not take the test. He was hot. He was like, so, what about the test? Like, every day, what are we doing? When are you taking the test? You know, I sit down, we about to study, you're going to take the test, just schedule it now.
Like, I would make you some flashcards. Let's go.
Man.
Flashcard.
I would have been the same way. So Michael was actually thinking about going back to school as well. And I was like, look, if we got to go back to school, I got to figure out because you're going to have to leave your job. I don't know how I'm about to make this money, but we're going to have to make it because you trying to go back to school. And I was like, cool, baby want it, baby got to get it. So it's like, we got to figure it out. So it was like, when she said that, I think we had narrowed it down. We was like, we got these couple schools, but these ain't online. You ain't about to move to New York. So we got to, like, I was all over the place. I'm at work. Like, I'm like, cool, I got an hour during my lunch. I'm about to just be, I'm going to just tunnel vision for an hour. And then I'm going to send her 12 links and like a bio. I sent all types of stuff. And then she got the email. And then I asked her later.
Just overwhelming.
I asked her later at work, and she was like, no, I didn't read that. And I'm like, oh.
Like, I don't have time to go through your 12 links and pick one. I love you.
This is your life.
It is my life.
Yeah, and then I also used to do this. I haven't done it in a while, but I used to like do like quarterly so we used to have like
Oh, man.
1 to 2 year goals and then like 5-year goals, and we used to write it out. I put it on a piece of paper and just stuck it on the bathroom mirror. So every
We
day
just
you
talking
wake
about
up
that.
and walk in the bathroom, you see that goal. Like I'm like, okay, so what are you doing now to achieve
No,
these
because
goals?
it would be like the third, be like, what you doing? Come in here now. Like, what are we talking about today, man? I need you to sit down and come up with these goals. Like, come up with these goals, and man, I used to be like,
It's so funny to hear you say that because I swear you really don't understand how similar people are until they tell you they side. Because I swear we be doing the same thing. Like we got it on our board right now. If you go to our bathroom, we got a dry erase marker and we write out our what's the word I'm looking for?
Goals.
Our goals. We write scripture, we write everything on there. So like you gonna see something.
Yep.
Even if you're not really seeing it, you seeing it. So hopefully you your subconscious will remember it and it'll come back to the forefront of your brain. But it's like we be on each other's head to the
And
point.
literally how we got on this topic to begin with, to get to this actual episode's title. It was literally doing that, like setting up like goals that we want to accomplish in the next 5 years, breaking those out into actual attainable, smaller goals. Like how are we getting there? When do we set these deadlines?
Freaking
by?
smart goals.
What are we paying? I hate smart goals. That is the dumbest thing ever.
Man,
They're terrible.
because we just started doing that at my job too.
Yeah, so I'll say like being goal oriented also carries over into like getting out of debt. For example, like we paid off both of our cars, and then I bought a new one. But
That's what I'm about to be like. Hold on, how many cars I got in their parking lot?
And they don't
They got a
drive,
parking lot over there.
they don't drive hoomties either. You know?
Who?
So,
They don't
so
drive
like,
hoomties. They don't drive Rusty.
so we bought her Cadillac 3 years ago.
Mm-hmm. Y'all
Right.
heard 3 years ago, and
We
it's
did it.
paid off.
Here we go.
Understand?
And so like I was like, all right, I want to have this Cadillac paid off in 3 years. I don't care what I do, we gonna pay this boy off. So like I literally I have like a sheet for Cadillac, her car, right? And I say like, all right, how many months do I want to pay this off in? And it'll just like, boop, you gotta pay this much a month. And so I'm like, all right, I'm paying that off in 3 years, and I just never deviated from that. Oh, tax return, throw it to the car. Bonus, throw it to the car.
Yep.
Oh, we got some extra money, throw it on
The extra money ain't accounted for. That's what I be like.
Yeah.
Yeah,
We-
he motivated me with that too.
Man.
Because I used to have a dad, but anytime I did have like money left over from my check, I'm like, oh, baby, like I'm
I
gonna
get
put
to
it on
go
my car.
shopping. I get to go
No, I got it
get
together
my
after a
edges
while.
together.
Sometimes, like I just buy one thing. I buy one thing, and the rest
Look,
is going.
I'm like, she just feels like she has to go shopping. I'm like, oh my god, can you just sit down?
Yeah.
We ain't gotta go to 12 Oaks every week.
That's
Y'all
how-
don't understand.
That's really how I started making such a big dent in my student loans. When I got my when I got those checks back, I would just throw it to it, and then it's just like I didn't miss it because I never really had it.
Yeah, exactly.
So it's like when you think about it from that standpoint, because I'm trying to do my best to make as much money as humanly possible. So if I'm not at work, 9 times out of 10, I'm still at work in one way, shape, or form. So I'm trying to figure out how to basically maneuver between not just one stream of income, but I need to figure out how I can have 3 or 4. How I can have some money, how I can be making some money and I ain't even there.
Right.
So those type of situations, and then all that additional money that's coming in, it's not like, oh, we about to splurge. It's like, no, let's knock something out. So as soon as we can, we knock one thing down, we just snowball the rest.
Yep.
So that was the thing that we kind of set up, I think, right before we got the house, and we were trying to figure out how we could snowball some stuff, because I feel like I think it was you, Shakira, that posted it on Facebook, and I saw it, which is like, y'all don't understand. Like, I feel a level of freedom that's ridiculous, because we had all this stuff paid off, and then it was just really just sat with me, and I was just like, dog, what would I do if I didn't have no
It's
student
huge.
loans?
Listen,
If
what
I had
would
to
we
pay
do
for
if
my
we didn't have
car?
to pay this mortgage? Because I think about that
Oh
every day.
man.
Yeah, it's life changing right there.
Man,
Listen, let something else break. I'm this close to leaving it all, baby. We moving somewhere,
what else
baby.
broke? We can talk about it off air. I don't even know nothing broke.
Listen, I don't want to talk about affairs.
I was about to ask y'all something. So with that said, what do you guys do when you guys have different visions for y'all relationship altogether? Because I mean, you guys seem like y'all communicate about pretty much everything. So how do y'all bring it up? You know, when y'all see both of y'all come together going one way, and the other person see y'all going another way.
We used to just hash it out.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah,
just
we
talk about
literally
it.
have to like come to a table. We just have to talk.
You gotta get your argument together. We about to debate.
Exactly.
Look,
Like
if
that's
you're-
what it is.
yeah.
There is no other way around it. There is no shying around it, because and really I used to be like a person that would just bottle everything up, but like let everybody else kind of have their way. But he kind of taught me too. Like he came to me like, we're adults. We have to talk about these things. Open your mouth. If there's a problem with something that you don't like, you need to talk to me about it.
Yeah.
So now I just let him have it. So if we got to debate, we just got to debate. And usually, you know, either he comes to my side or I go to his. Like we come to an understanding.
Most of the time, it's
eventually.
me conceding, you know.
Yeah, because you know he's fine or whatever. You know, I'm a little all over the place.
I lose a lot.
Yeah. So,
Is it really
okay.
losing if y'all both win, though?
It depends on how you win. Sometimes it can be dirty. A dirty win. You're like, dang.
Like, there's certain things
You was
I
right, but you
already
ain't have to let me know you was right like that.
It depends on what we're talking about too, because there's some stuff I feel like you're right, babe. All right, shut up.
That's one thing I will say I appreciate about you, baby. Like, if we have a conversation and I be like, all right, you right. Like, you won't keep, like, bringing it up. It just be like, all right, cool.
I take my, look, I'm not to take a dub. I might not to take no L, but I know how to take a dub, dog. All right, thanks,
All
bye.
right, like, I was wrong. You was right. Kayla be like, all right, cool. Thank you. I won't talk about this no more. Right.
I just want to, it get to the point where sometimes I'm like, am I being, like you were saying earlier, like, am I being too over persistent with this? Because I really want to figure this out.
Yep.
Then it's like, but I know if it wait any longer, then it's going to get worse. But then it's like the same thing with you, Shakira. That's on the flip side. Sometimes I'm just like, dog, I just don't know. And I don't want to know. So I just like, I'll just go somewhere and just sit down. And Mike would be like, dog, you ain't said nothing to me for like, I don't even know how long. And I'm like, I forget that. I didn't forgot that I ran away from something. Then she'll bring it back up. And I'm like, oh, man, I knew it was something I was forgetting. The next thing you know, we got to have a conversation about us not having a conversation. And then had a conversation about what we were supposed to talk about. So it's like, I'm learning. And that was what I was.
It's a learning process.
I was thinking about that. I think I was thinking about that yesterday or Sunday, and I was like, I already know what my biggest attribute is going to be after the first year. It's just like turning my pride completely off, because it's like really, like I said, it's like it's twofold. Like on one side, it's like I'm really trying to figure out the problem, but then on the other side, it's like I'm trying not to be the bearer of problems at all times. So by that, I'll just disappear. It's like, oh, the problem's gonna disappear because I'm gone. It's like, no, Negro. When you come out of the shadows, Mike's gonna be right there. Like, I'm still here.
Right.
I'm not going anywhere.
That's me. Right? I know I'm ready to talk.
Like, so are we gonna deal with this or?
That's how I be.
Man.
All right, I'm gonna give her time to cool down. And hey, babe.
Yeah.
About this.
That irritated me so bad. I'm like, all right, come on.
Hey, baby, you want a snack? Let's talk over this snack.
Right.
Man.
You want some popcorn?
Like, are you hungry?
Every kernel
You
is
hungry?
a question.
You
go finish
break
this
that
snack.
level of silence. Like, you thirsty? We might need to get some water or something. Because
Right.
I asked that quick, baby, you need some water?
like, yes.
You look
Gritting my
a
teeth
little
like,
parched.
yes.
You look a little
I'm
parched.
thirsty.
Can I get you in?
That's why I'm so angry. My brain is dry.
Right.
They don't make no sense.
Dang, you just messed me up. So like y'all had said earlier, you guys have been married for 2 years. What is some advice that you like to pass along to us?
Communicate whatever you do.
The
I'm telling you, like
first
that's like the
year.
first. That's where most people fall down. You know,
Yeah.
they fail. Like communication. Like we were at a point where like I'm scared. I don't even know how to bring this up. Now I'm just like we about to
Yeah.
talk about this. Like it used to be so like you be passive aggressive, but not after being together for this long. It's just like
Yeah,
I'm just gonna bring it up.
I think
Whatever way it
that's
come
really-
out, that's the way it come out.
Yeah.
Period.
that's what we. So it's like some, like you said, like some topics. I feel like for the most part we just be saying whatever, and people be looking at us like we crazy because we don't care where we at either. We be talking about. I forgot what we was talking about one time. We was somehow somebody looked at us like, what the heck is they
First
talking
of
about?
all, I feel like this just happened on Saturday.
I don't remember what we was talking about though.
Saturday, somebody was, mind you, Caleb, they don't even know that Caleb is aware or listening to the conversation. So they were asking me, like people do, they always ask the wife, when are y'all having kids? When are y'all having babies?
Oh, they be asking me.
Caleb
too.
was like, now.
Give them the answer they want. Right?
Look,
I was like, we'll practice later. We'll
shouldn't have asked me.
practice later.
Shouldn't
And they
ask.
was like, oh, that's my husband. What do y'all think?
They was like-
Oh.
They was like,
Right.
what? Come on, man. I knew he was gonna say that. They like, I knew he was gonna say that. And I was
They
like,
did say that. I was like, I didn't even know that.
people ask me that all the
I was
time.
shocked.
And I just be like,
My answer is when you give me some kid money.
bam. I just saw a
Listen,
meme
How about
that.
that?
Listen,
I just seen
we
a
got
meme like
you
that
money.
earlier.
We
It's
got
like-
a whole GoFundMe. We got
Right.
Cash Apps,
We need-
Venmo, PayPal,
Not even that. I don't even care about the
Chase
kid.
Pay, Zeal.
I'm gonna stop saying that. I'm gonna stop saying when you got the kid money. I'm gonna say when both of these grandmas, because we got one grandparent that's already retired. We need the other three to go ahead and jump ship.
Look, the one that's retired definitely ain't babysitting because he can't handle my niece right now.
By the time, yeah, we got to figure that out.
Yeah.
But with the other grandparent, that might be able to help. But that's what we need the other three of them. Go ahead and talk to my mama. Go ahead and get her retired.
I feel like your mom's already low key, and it's funny because it's
I don't know.
not like none of them have other grandkids. But I'm like, watch, our kid gonna be the one that get to actually call your mama grandma. The rest of them,
No, they gonna get to because I'm gonna tell them to.
Caleb talking about he gonna tell them to call her
She
grandma.
she go by Nana. I'm like, no, that's that 2000 Beyond grandma. You trying to be still in the clubs, grandma? Ain't no Nana.
Wow.
You are granny or grandmother. I'm gonna say call her grandmother.
My mama be ready to fight every time I tell her my kid's gonna call her granny. She's like, no, that ain't you are granny. That's all you.
Next time, be like, so you want to be Medea then?
Right.
Got
Oh,
it.
Jesus.
Medea is
I'm like,
like
so-
great grandma.
What are they supposed to call you? I
Big
don't know.
mama.
They calling me granny.
Big
Who?
mama.
You are now big
They
mama.
call her big mama. I'm just,
It's over.
I don't even want to see how that go down.
Oh god, I don't think my mama would care. I think my mama has she prefers granny or grandma.
call her?
Granny.
Yeah, she'd be sure.
I think the only one who called her grandma is Andre, which is hilarious to me because my nephew is 2 years younger than me, so it's the whole thing. But yeah,
No.
he's so confused. He's also the only one that really just outwardly calls me auntie. You know, we
So,
supposed to be siblings.
I don't know if y'all listen to the other episodes, but I got to think about. That's like, I feel like it goes, in my mind, I'm thinking about it one way, but ultimately it's just a respect thing. So, like, I know for me growing up, I couldn't call my auntie by her first name. I'm going to get literally
Man, what?
3 fingers popped right in my mouth. Great aunts didn't pop me. My grandma didn't pop me. My mama didn't slap me in the mouth for saying, what, or calling somebody by their first name. I'm like, you don't call them by their first name. That's auntie or uncle such and such. I'm like, cool. Never say it again.
Yep.
So it's funny because Micah was technically not a member of our family for so long. She was just my girlfriend. So she was just Micah for an extended amount of time. So now that she's no longer just Micah, because all of my niece and my nephews was like, hey Micah.
Right.
And I was like, nah, auntie Micah, don't. I was like, she ain't even gonna answer you no more if you just say Micah. So one day, I think it was Sunday, my oldest nephew he was like, Micah. He called her and she ain't saying nothing. And he was like, it just like, you could see the light bulb go off in his head. It was like, bing, Auntie Micah. I got you. And I was like, see.
My nephew's so petty. So we went over to my brother's house on Saturday. And I guess my sister-in-law told him that I was coming over. So I'm the fun auntie. First of all, so he was in the wedding. His response is, oh, my auntie that married Caleb? My auntie that married Uncle Caleb? Where did you get this
Dog.
from? Like, yeah, nah. That's not what we doing. I'm like, Uncle
I feel like she
Caleb?
just got tired of saying it. Because she said it one time, was like, you call him Uncle now. Call him Uncle now. And then he was just
But
like,
he know what he be doing.
oh, he
for
too smart for his
sure
own
know.
good. I for sure see him looking in the corner of his eye like, Caleb. Like, he knew that I was going to answer because that's my name. But I'm looking
He
like,
be trying it.
all right.
He be trying
I
it.
dangle your little butt by your
He
feet.
ain't gonna try to be friendly like, y'all can blow some bubbles if y'all want to.
Yeah, I'm like, so you gonna honor your own disrespect.
Go slowly push the bottle of bubbles over to Caleb. Like, you can blow some bubbles if you want to.
That's hilarious.
You want to ask our closing question?
I thought you just did.
I want to ask the other one.
Go ahead.
You ask because I forgot how to phrase it.
So dramatic.
Oh, for real?
If y'all had to pick one song that defines your relationship, what would it be?
Ooh.
And I knew this was coming.
I knew you knew this was coming. That's why I almost didn't ask y'all this.
They still weren't ready.
I'm not ready.
They never are.
Oh man, I wasn't prepared for this question.
The look on both of y'all faces. It's like so deep in thought. Hey, they look like the contestants on Jeopardy when Alex Trebek asked about the Solange album.
They look like they on Family Feud.
Why is it so hard?
What was y'all wedding song?
Hmm.
What was y'all wedding song? If y'all had to pick one.
I was about to say you might want to do that.
You
It's
always
a-
got
it's
one
a-
in the chamber.
It's a John Legend song, I think, that you
Brian, you
kind
sing
of
all of me?
introduced me to. Not that one. It wasn't that one. It was another one. It was real sweet, but I don't even know the words to it.
See, I'm gonna think of something for Basada Baby, but
Wow. wow.
Scuba Ruffin.
And see, and that's about all the twerk songs and stuff like that.
Twerk
That's in my
song.
head right
That
now.
could be a
But I
song.
want to pick them though. Like I'm trying to.
That could be a
you know
song.
what I'm
Girl
saying?
Summer.
Trying
we're
to
trying to
be
pick the
smart
classic
about this.
answer, you know. I don't really know, man.
Because Too Loud Crew is definitely on our playlist. So you can go far left, you can go far right. Like, hey,
Whatever
hey,
y'all feel in
hey,
your
hey.
spirit.
That is a great question.
Mm.
Throw one out there.
What's the first one that come to
What's
mind?
that Robin Thicke song?
Lost Without You.
Yep.
Oh my god.
Oh, let me stop.
This show, this shit.
Shicky, you up next. He already answered, so he
You
good.
in the hot seat now. Suck it.
Okay.
Sweet Love keep playing in my head.
Sweet Anita Baker.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm thinking about Good Love.
I think that's mine because it won't go away.
See? There you go. Now you're going to listen to it on the way home.
Right. No, he gonna put on some Sada Baby or something.
Lord, Barlow, because my car loud.
And with that, we want to thank y'all for coming on. We appreciate y'all for sprinkling some wisdom on all of these listeners.
Yay, love you guys.
All right, peace.
Bye.